Hey everyone, and welcome back for another deep dive. This time we're looking at the State of AI report for 2024. And wow, this year's report is anything but boring.
Yeah, you can say that again. It really does feel like we're living in the future with all these advancements coming out.
It's true. I mean, where do we even begin? I guess the biggest news has to be OpenAI's latest release, o1. Have you had a chance to play around with it?
I have, and let me tell you, it's a game changer, especially when it comes to those complex math and science problems. It can practically solve equations like a seasoned professor.
That's what I've heard. It's like they finally cracked the code to making AI think like we do.
In a way, yeah, their shift to reinforcement learning and this new chain of thought process is a huge leap forward. It's basically teaching AI to approach problems step by step, just like a human would.
Okay, so that makes sense, but all this brain power must come with a pretty hefty price tag, right?
You're not wrong. O1 is about 3 to 4 times more expensive to run than GPT-4o.
Wow, that's a serious investment. So it's like the luxury car of AI models, impressive, but not exactly accessible for everyone.
That's one way to look at it. And this cost reflects a larger trend in the field. It's not just about training these massive models anymore. It's about making them usable in the real world. And that requires a whole other level of computational power.
Makes you wonder if it's sustainable in the long run. But while OpenAI is going for the exclusive approach, you've got Meta jumping in with their open source model, Llama 3.
Right, and Llama 3.1 is the one turning heads right now. It's gone head-to-head with GPT-4o in terms of performance.
Really? That's impressive for an open source model. How did they manage to pull that off?
Honestly, they threw a ton of data at it, like a ridiculous amount, something like 15 trillion data points or tokens.
15 trillion, that's insane.
Yeah.
But hey, if it works, it works. It seems like this open source approach could really shake things up, give OpenAI a run for its money.
Definitely levels the playing field a bit. But let's not forget the elephant in the room, or rather the tech giant, quietly profiting from all of this NVIDIA.
Oh yeah. NVIDIA, their market cap hit, $3 trillion just from the demand for their AI chips.
It's mind-boggling. There's just no real alternative to their hardware and software right now. AMD and Intel are trying to catch up, but NVIDIA has strategically positioned itself as the go-to for AI development.
It's like they're holding all the cards in this AI poker game and everyone else is just hoping for a lucky draw.
They're even pushing this concept of sovereign AI, basically arguing that every country should have its own AI infrastructure powered by, you guessed it, NVIDIA.
Sovereign AI. Huh. Interesting. Sounds a bit like a sci-fi thriller waiting to happen, but it seems like NVIDIA's calling the shots for now.
But hey, it's not all about the big players. Sometimes it's the underdogs who come up with the most creative solutions.
That's a good point. Speaking of underdogs, the report mentioned some interesting developments coming out of China, despite those sanctions on advanced chips.
Right. It's pretty impressive what they're managing to achieve, even with limited resources. Take DeepSeek, for example. They're really making a name for themselves in AI coding.
Yeah, I read about that their code generation models are supposedly giving OpenAI a run for their money.
Absolutely. And they've had to be incredibly resourceful because of those sanctions on high-end GPUs. They're pushing the boundaries of computational efficiency.
It's like that saying, necessity is the mother of invention. They're finding new ways to do more with less.
Exactly. And then you've got Alibaba's Qwen 2. This model is doing some really interesting things with visual analysis, like understanding complex artwork and interpreting images in a whole new way.
It seems like every time I turn around, there's a new model pushing the boundaries of what AI can do. It's mind-blowing.
It really is, and it highlights this broader shift towards computational efficiency. Chinese labs in particular are becoming masters at squeezing every ounce of performance out of their hardware. It's fascinating to see.
It's like they're playing chess while everyone else is playing checkers, thinking several steps ahead.
It'll be interesting to see how this computational efficiency arms race plays out in the coming years. But speaking of doing more with less, we have to talk about Apple. They're taking a very different approach to AI development.
Oh yeah, Apple with their whole think different philosophy. What are they up to in the AI world?
Well, instead of chasing after the biggest, most data-hungry models, Apple is focusing on building smaller, more efficient models that can run locally on their devices.
So basically bringing AI directly to your iPhone or MacBook. That's pretty cool, actually.
It is, and they're proving that you don't always need massive data sets to achieve impressive results. Their 3 billion parameter model has actually outperformed much larger models in some evaluations.
Really? That's going against the grain. It's like David and Goliath all over again. Apple betting on elegance and efficiency over brute force.
Exactly. And it raises some really interesting questions about the future of AI. Will we see a shift away from these massive, centralized models towards smaller, more distributed ones? Only time will tell.
It's exciting to think about all the possibilities, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. With all this talk about the amazing advancements in AI, we can't forget about the potential downsides.
It's a double-edged sword, isn't it? For all the good AI can do, there's always the potential for misuse, and that's something the report definitely doesn't shy away from.
Yeah, the whole issue of AI-generated disinformation is pretty alarming. It feels like we're on the verge of a whole new era of fake news and propaganda.
And it's not just about fake news. We've seen AI being used to create deepfakes, impersonate voices, spread misinformation. It's a complex issue with no easy solutions.
It really highlights the need for ethical guidelines and regulations in AI development. We can't just let these powerful technologies run wild.
Absolutely. And the report touches on the debate surrounding the economic impact of AI. Will it lead to mass unemployment or simply change the nature of work?
It's a question everyone's asking, right? Are robots coming for our jobs?
Yeah.
It's certainly a concern.
It's understandable to be concerned, but many experts believe that instead of mass job displacement, we'll see a shift towards different types of jobs requiring new skill sets.
So basically adapting to the changing landscape rather than fearing the robots.
Exactly. It's about embracing lifelong learning and developing those uniquely human skills like creativity and critical thinking, things AI can't replicate.
Right. It's not about replacing humans, but about augmenting our abilities, finding new ways to collaborate with these technologies.
Exactly. And on that note, we can't talk about the future of AI without addressing the elephant in the room, AI safety.
True. The stakes are getting higher with every new breakthrough. And the question of how we ensure AI is developed responsibly is more important than ever.
We've already seen some high-profile incidents this year highlighting the tension between rapid innovation and the need for caution.
It's like walking a tightrope. You want to push the boundaries, but you also don't want to fall flat on your face.
And that's where organizations like AI safety institutes come in. They play a crucial role in setting standards, conducting independent evaluations, and basically making sure AI is developed safely and ethically.
They're like the watchdogs of the AI world, keeping a close eye on things and trying to steer us in the right direction.
It's a huge responsibility and one that requires collaboration from everyone involved, researchers, policymakers, industry leaders. We all have a part to play.
Absolutely well said. So to wrap things up, we've covered a lot of ground today, from the mind-blowing advancements in AI capabilities to the very real concerns about ethics, safety, and the future of work.
It's a lot to process, and it seems like every day there's something new to consider in the world of AI.
That's for sure. But if there's one takeaway I hope our listeners leave with, it's that the future of AI isn't predetermined. It's something we're all shaping together through the choices we make and the conversations we have.
Well said. I couldn't agree more.
So stay curious, keep asking questions, and let's all work toward building a future where AI benefits everyone.
To the future.
Cheers to that, and thanks for joining us for another deep dive into the world of AI. We'll catch you next time.